This is our homestead. It's been a labor of love for 20 years. If you look closely at our land, you'll see numerous hand-dug berms, the signs of many attempts to fix a silent struggle: water. Our well, drilled in the 70s, has had good times and bad. Through the dry periods, we've tried many things. One of our most successful was a makeshift percussion drill, which brought the water back for a time. The aforementioned berms was discovered in a book, which kept the well barely alive, but coming back every spring for a while. A few feet from the current well, another one was attempted using a rotary drill, but proved to be inefficient for our hard desert soil. We threw in the towel when we hit hard rock at 60 feet. When we mention our water woes to guests, they always say, "Why don't you hire a well driller?" We always reply, not only is it a small fortune, it's a matter of pride. Believe it or not, this old percussion well drilling rig Bryson purchased is less expensive than hiring someone. It's the difference between $15,000 for the truck and supplies and $20,000 to $30,000 in our area. Of course, we have to get this drill rig back working. Thankfully, that's right up Bryson's alley.
That's great. Sound like you're working.
In a previous video, we got the main truck running. Now it's time to get the rig on the back going.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've done extensive research on this thing.
The rig on the back is pretty rusted, so I've been oiling it and greasing it throughout this couple weeks here, trying to loosen everything up. I've learned from the past, things that are setting for a long time like this tend to get stuck in a position and they don't like to move, and this can cause things to break. I'm hoping with all the oiling and greasing, it will loosen that all up so when we start moving it, nothing will break.
With everything greased, Bryson is ready to partially attempt starting the rig up to see if anything moves.
This is the clutch guy, so I'm gonna engage it. The way you do that is you push it in and see what moves. Push it all the way up for break. So I'm gonna break it. So that's in break at the moment. Let's try it again and see what happens. Okay, good. That means it's broken loose. So yeah, cool, exciting.
In November of 2022, Mom stumbles across something called primary or deep water wells. It claims there's abundant, healthy water deep under our feet. In a magazine PDF by the Primary Water Institute, it introduces the idea. Most water conservation agencies today focus on managing atmospheric water in the form of surface runoff and groundwater, while little consideration is given to primary water. Pressuring up from the deep within the earth through rock fissures, primary water is virtually limitless and clean. According to recent research, water within the earth exceeds 5 times the amount of water in all the world's oceans. This book also covers a story about Sparklet's drinking water. Sparklet's drinking water had drilled the wells for its lakeside facility in San Diego following the advice of a water resource specialist. Within 6 months, the water quality had declined and the supply was running out. The owner was desperate. After the Murchison purchase made the headlines, he got in touch with Russ. Russ ultimately drilled into the bottom of an existing 400-foot well that had gone dry. He drilled down an additional 500 feet till he struck high-grade water at 300 gallons per minute. The plant was saved, and in 2016 is still supplying Sparklets with water. We're intrigued. We find out quickly primary water is controversial. To us, that means only one thing: we have to test it.
We were able to locate a company that can find us a primary well here on the property. We're very excited about. We were able to do like a teleconference with the main guy there, and he discussed the process and got us all comfortable with it. And within 2 weeks, they were out walking the property and scanning it.
Fantastic. And yourself?
Great. Good to meet you, Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
Nice to meet you.
I did. That's why I was lost.
I'll get you here. So far over here near this well house by the little road.
And gamma, you mean that's for the water? That's water?
One of the first steps they do is they scan for what they call gamma, which is just the natural radiation and background radiation of our Earth. And they actually line nuclear facilities with water because water is known to absorb gamma rays. And so they can scan our land and go, okay, this is the general area we're going to search, and then they refine it and they use some other tools and fun things to scan depths and stuff.
So after spending all day on the property, Ryan was able to locate 3 places. The first, and he said the best place, is right where the well already is, in that spot there. And he said that's pretty typical of it, because somebody comes in and wicks and they find the right spot, but they don't know the depth. They go down, they hit the water table, and then they're like, hey, we got water. But they don't realize if they go down further, they might hit one of those springs. So when you look at this chart here, this is the ground and this is the depth. So here's our 130-foot existing well.
And so what we're looking for are any places that are weak, according to what the guy was saying. And so our existing well is here. This is the depth we have to go to this area down here, which in this case, we're kind of looking for these blue spots. Those are like the most weakest points of the ground, indicating water, most likely there. And this spot here is most particularly interesting because it goes way below their scan.
This is a secondary spot, he's telling us, but he thought this one, where the well is, would be the very best because it will go right down and bam, it'll hit in this area. Now these are not feet, these are meters, so don't be deceived by those numbers because this is going to be down, you know, in the 400, 500 foot levels.
Right around here is around 400 feet is where the top of that starts. And I would like to go another 100 feet, which is about in here. I'd like to go right to this level here. This is only a 250 meter scan, and to show how that goes deeper, he has down here an even deeper scale, all the way to 500 meters. And you can really see where some of these spots come from way beneath the earth and poke up. And so that's our existing well, actually way up here, like starting like right up here is our existing well. And then this is the spot we're after right there, and you can see it's just straight down. And
the hope is the water's coming, just shooting up, and just gonna burst in beautiful water for us.
And it is amazing to see that if someone drilled right here, they would have to go over 500 meters and totally even miss this.
And that's
entire
not even
chunk.
far. That's not far from where that is.
Now that we know where to drill, Bryson is even more motivated. He finds new information he needs to get his rig ready to go.
I was able to find some information about this rig. I was able to find a brochure on the truck, a machine's part list, which is excellent, an operation manual, and a cable tool drilling general's book. It was very, very useful. And there was a guy in Wyoming who had it. I really, really appreciate that. Plus all of you helped tremendously. So this is the main cable that raises the mast. And you notice there's several cables here. It has a cable that goes into the mast and it pulls on this end here to raise the mast. It also extends that end out. Do we want to try raising the mast with the rusty cable?
Yes, I think we should.
The guys inspect the cable that raises the mast. They determine it's strong. They are ready for an attempt to raise it.
So what are we doing today that's cool?
So here's the plan. We've determined that this cable is somewhat sound to be able to lift this tower today. What we're gonna do is fire her up, let her idle, and then follow the book instructions on how to raise it, because I've never done it before. Clamp bolt 1, which holds the mast together, must be in place. This is important. And I'm assuming back in the 50s when they said this was important, they meant it. By that chain there's a bolt that goes all the way through. It's actually just a stake because they didn't have one, so the stake will work just fine though. And that keeps the mast from raising out. And we don't want to do that yet until it's up. Hopefully that'll be enough. Strong enough at least. What do you think?
Even though the cable is strong enough, new problems rise with the belt mechanism.
If that's, I'm not entirely sure, but I did lose a belt. One of our belts here, it actually flipped around on me. How do we put that back on is the question. I think this whole bracket, comes out. It was turning around though.
Yes, it was.
And just take a look at the belt. So this belt was actually completely off. And we got it back on there, but now it keeps coming this direction. So this belt is like twisted and it has a gash in it down there. And so I think that's what's causing it to just keep twisting. So I think we're just gonna cut it at that gash mark, just take it off for now.
Finally, the guys have everything in order to get this mast in the air.
Do it a couple times and see
wanted to interrupt really quick and say how much we appreciate all the love and support as we move from once a week videos to once a month. We did get some feedback, which was wonderful. Folks were saying that they would like more touching points than just once a month. So what we're gonna do is do frequent shorts, and you'll see those. Those will be updates of what we're working on that month, or they might be little fun things that we find, or maybe even callbacks to some stuff that we think is cool. And we are so excited to announce we are going to be launching a 24/7 live stream, and it will run all of our content throughout the years that we've done back to back in a kind of a TV format, and it will be launching as soon as we can get it off the ground. Also too, we wanted to let you know we still have a few of those collage puzzles available, so if you think that you might have missed out and were interested in one, or if this is the first time you're hearing of it, there still is a few more left. The links will be down in the description. Well, let's get back to the show.
I think we're gonna try to raise it now.
Okay.
Yeah, stay out of the way.
Whoa, it's going fast. Whoa. Whoa. That went fast. Were you expecting it that fast?
No,
Wow.
I wasn't. But I didn't know how to slow it down.
Wow, that's awesome. Is that as tall as it gets?
It'll go taller.
As a safety measure, the guys put in a mast brace along with various jacks.
So, it's important to have the brake on now at this point. So I have that all the way up. You might notice the tower is leaning Tower of Pisa. And it's designed to be that way, I guess.
Don't we have some procedures to do though?
We do, before we do that.
That's the way, huh?
You think it goes in like that?
Yeah, it does. See the little notches?
I was just wondering
Oh, look how cute. Is that the little wrench that came with it?
this.
Yeah.
I think it was welded on there to act as a guard.
I see. Okay, so that secures it.
I don't know. It could either go here or here.
Well, one presses against the other like two bolts.
Down if it's not tight enough up there. And then move it out. Pretty happy with the next part is going to be the scarier part. Okay.
The first part of the mast is up. Now it's time for the second half. This part telescopes up to go 20 feet taller.
All right, go up. So the mast is having trouble extending right now, and I think it's because it's kind of rusted in there. So I'm gonna try to spray some goop in there.
Spray it along the way too.
Here is the shear pin that goes on the tower to keep the tower from sliding down. There's also bolts too, but we'll put the bolts in when we're ready to drill. I'm just gonna put the shear pin in for now. And to do that, I gotta climb the tower. All the way, here we go. I can see the neighbors from here. Yoo-hoo!
Is that fun? Looks so solid.
Yeah, it feels really solid.
One of the biggest reasons why I want to drill a well, it's become a challenge for me, and whenever I'm challenged, I have to complete it. I just do.
There he is, just right at the dirt road there.
The fresh drill cable the guys have been waiting for arrives, a vital part to the drilling process.
Just wrap it around here, Brian.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you. You're awesome.
All right, sir, you have a good day.
Take care.
Our trusty skid steer has turned out to be a jack of all trades. Out of all the equipment we own, it's our favorite. However, with the new well rig, it may take second place. It's hard to compete with water.
There she blows. Super cool, huh? It's up so high in the air. It's just impressive. Anyway, we got the cable. Let's unwrap it. 2,000 feet, 1,000 of each, and they'll so easily fit on here. I decided to go with smaller cable due to the length that I wanted to drill. I wanted to go more towards that 1,000-foot mark. The smaller cable gets me there. That seems counterintuitive. You would think the bigger cable would be the safer one to go deeper like that, but oddly enough, as you drill, the weight of the cable starts to apply. You know, you got like 800 feet of cable down a hole. Smaller cable allows you to actually go deeper. On this one over here, this cable is my guidelines. I need guidelines to come down from the tower down.
This cool inversion therapy table is often used for your back. Bryson, however, has different plans.
It's not something I'm very easily able to lift and move around. I need to probably build some sort of spool thing to hold it. I looked in our backyard. I think it's supposed to be like a back straightener. To be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure. I've been on it a few times. I don't really know what it does exactly. All right, this will work just perfect. It's got this, but this will be able to pull in and out. It's not as easy as I thought to roll that up.
More difficult, huh?
We got some of it on there. We got it started. Ah, and you can rotate it.
I'm gonna try.
And maybe while you rotate it, I roll it up.
Yep.
But I think we got everything on the roll. This is the end of the cable here.
Oh, that's the old cable?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was on there and we put it here now.
Oh, stuff. Sure. This will be the stuff that we put on there.
Bryson isn't quite done utilizing the parts from his back stretcher.
We've got our contraption set up here to hold this bigger roll. Let's hope it works.
Oh yeah. See the genie.
Well, want to know what happens to this cable? It goes up there. The only thing is it won't go up on its own.
You got a drone?
Wish me luck.
Don't fall.
Yeah. Well, that was... Woo! We're safe! Thought it wasn't that bad, but okay.
I was pretty young when I tried to drill a well, and I'd built a little piece of equipment, and I've been trying to do it for a while, and it's just been a challenge for me, and I want to conquer it. And if something I really like to do, I might make it into more of a thing.
I don't know if you see this. Do you see the crack in the bolt? I'll need to fix that.
And go ahead and re-weld a new one on here. I'm going to cut it and re-weld a new one.
All right, piece welded on there. So this allows me to move my belts. Some of these belts started falling off. Get in there and get these belts back on. Probably retie, because some of these belts are pretty loose. It's gonna be fun learning. You just have to loosen the bolts on the engine. So I might do that, retighten the belts up a little bit more. So I only have 3 belts for right now. I've ordered some more belts and we'll put them on when they come.
My favorite things about working on this is the age of it. And to work on something that's so old like this, everything is so simple and self-explanatory almost. It's pretty fun.
I had no idea how the new belts were going to work.
Good job. That looks Looks good to me. Now that we're replacing the drill line, we need to get it off. However, the rusty spool won't budge.
This is the cable that I'm going to try to unravel. It just hasn't moved in so long. You know what I feel like? We need to jump to that part of the Caribbean when he's trying to pull his boat off the dune.
Yeah.
Is it moving?
No. Can you attach it to like a catch block? Don't we have one of those?
We do.
Okay, there's the come along.
We slapped it on down here. Moves, Jared.
Honestly, getting it onto the skid steer and just driving it out might not be a bad idea.
All right, we ready?
Yep.
Wish us luck. So we have a clamp we put on here, and then we have a chain, and we're going to attach it to the skid steer.
Yeah,
Eat it.
but
Eat it out.
the come along, it's not really using that much force in it. It should just come out. That was easy.
That really was. Here we go. May have created a big mess for ourselves, but that's for future us to worry about. Oh yes.
Just to conquer a challenge, it's quite a bit to spend on something. But I really felt pretty confident that it was something I was going to do, so I went ahead with it. And so hopefully something old like this and something beefy will be able to break through that ground good enough for us.
Alright, so this is the cable guide piece. Essentially what this does is it connects to that loose cable right there, and it goes into this square hole here on this other side. And the main drill line cable goes through this center piece here. And by rolling that wheel there from side to side, it rolls in the cable and moves it this way, or rolls it in and moves it that way, allowing to move the cable back and forth from one side of the spool to the other.
Bryson explains how these spools work before getting it greased and moving.
Why there's two spots. This will be the storage side, that will be the wear side. We'll store cable on this side, move it over there when we're drilling, and move it back over here when we're storing the cable. I'm gonna go ahead and move this drum. I'm gonna go ahead and gauge it. He moved.
While the bit is underground, this rocking mechanism is key for hammering the earth.
A lot of metal moving around. Yeah. That's our rocking arm, so it's gonna move the cable up and down and drop the weight.
Gotcha.
There you go. We checked this well a month ago, and it had water in it, which is a miracle because it's not had water in it for a year or two. It had like 9 feet of water. We're like, whoa. We're kind of curious if it still has water. This is our method of testing to see if it's dry.
Oh yeah, there's water.
Let's go get the tape measure. Measure her out. Okay, we're in water now. Well, that's the bottom there. 19 feet of water.
It's gone up 10 more feet.
It has. That's enough to throw a pump down and pull water from.
Just when you're ready to drill.
You know that big rig we have over there? Yeah, it's useless. We got water now. So we're ready to get this cable on.
Awesome.
How are we gonna do that? We can dangle it from the skid steer.
The bowl reel line is the last cable this rig needs, and it's ready to go in. All these cables are important, but this is the main one that holds the bit.
I'll hold this, you jump in.
Thank you.
Come on, muscles.
Actually, isn't that bad.
I'm just complaining.
For the camera.
Yeah.
The current length of cable that's on here now is only about 300 feet for both of the cables, and that's not quite long enough for what we have to drill. So we're going to replace them.
Got her, huh?
Ready to drill. Let's drill a hole. A couple things you have to do, but
We're really close. We have like
Getting
2 more
closer.
steps.
The cable needs to be looped through the top of the mast, so Bryson climbs on up.
Don't get whacked.
here it is. That ain't something I'm gonna do again.
Till the next time.
This piece is vital to keeping the drill bit in place on the cable.
This is what holds your 1,700-pound bit in the hole. This needs to go down here. Like that. I have to melt the babbitt out of here. At least that's what it's called.
Babbitt.
Babbitt. I might need more of it too.
Very noisy, but it's kind of coming out. You can see it there. Got to get it all out, so.
Big picture. Connector goes on rig. Let's do it. This describes our next step perfectly. So here's our attachment piece, which we attach all our drill stem onto. So now this is the end of the drill line. This cable will get fed through here, wire tied there. End of it frayed, fed back through the mandrel, and then metal will be poured in there, and I'm using zinc for this. First step to making this happen. That. And then I've got to fray this end just like it was on the old cable. I got some extra zinc, which we're gonna need. All right, ready? Here we go. All right, we got her casted. I didn't want the metal to get too hot.
Cause the wires to detemper.
Mast was beautiful. Here's the piece here. Because here, you can see the metal down in there with the putty. So the metal made it all the way to the end. Okay. The mandrel's going into the connection point that I wish I knew the name of. Comment down below if you know the name of this piece. Connection point.
Another thing that's so cool about this rig is just the antiqueness of it. You don't really see these what type of well drillers out there anymore, and not alone do you not even see this kind of truck anymore either. The truck is antique and the well drilling rig is antique. Just the whole combination of it is a very unique rig, and I'm just really thrilled to be the owner of this piece of history.
The guys feel ready to move the rig to the drill site. They run through everything to make sure she's ready to roll. After a thorough inspection, it's time for a short drive on over.
All right, so now it's time to get this truck moving, huh? And it needs to go over there at our well house. Let's go ahead and drive this truck over. Thank you.
So I have no idea if this is going to be successful. Only really time is going to tell. So I know that, you know, they were back in the day successful, so I don't see why they won't be today. as long as the user, aka me, can do it right. Sure hate to keep you hanging like this. This is where we're at, so here we are.
We have many plans for water around our homestead, from large aquaponic systems to ponds and streams running through the backyard. We feel cautiously optimistic that all our dreams of water will come true. Join us next time to see just where this journey takes us.
A operation manual. Whoa, that's backwards. I don't know why that's backwards, but okay. Is that upside down to you?
Okay.
So Tarzan time?
Tarzan! Hallelujah!
Hallelujah!
Well, yeah, it's hallelujah because the tower's still up and he hasn't fallen on your head.
I like it.
No. This also needs to be bent back. Oh yeah, totally. See me bending it? Isn't it cool? Sorry.
That's very unimpressed look over there.
Alternator draws voltage when the whole thing is off. So I don't know why that's the case. If you know, be very helpful because I'm having to disconnect the battery every time I shut down the rig because it will drain it. So there's the door. And that's the rig. But this here though, I'm missing my third man. My dad, he's gone.
Your third man?
My second man. Jump rope! Getting your abs worked out now.
Oh yeah.
So it's time to move the truck over here and drill some wells. But before we can do that, we gotta move some trees. Or more like cut some trees, as I think it'd be pretty hard to move a tree.
Our family moved from the city to the country. Thanks for taking part in our adventure. We have new videos every Friday evening. If you would like to help us out, you can like this video, share it, subscribe, or support us on Patreon. See the links in the description.
Still new. There she is. This is Luna. She's a French bulldog and pug mix, I guess.